Hey guys, it's Kika, your lifestyle blogger, and in today's video, we are actually going to talk about the fire that happened at my house in December of 2025. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this now and spend a little time with you is because I'm ready to move forward. However, you can't move forward without recognizing what happened in the past and what got you to where you are today. So I want to talk about that. This video is actually going to be about a 30-minute video. So break out your popcorn and drink because we have a lot to talk about here. And it's been a while since I did a blog video like this, but I wanted to make sure that I put this on video and documented this because this is an important time in history or in time. And when I'm able to look back on this with my children, grandchildren, we are going to be able to talk about kind of what happened and what led us to where we are actually today. So keep watching, more video footage coming right. So the first thing that you are going to see is an actual quick vlog that I did. We call it a reel because it's really quick. It's under a minute, but it's going to walk you through what actually happened, the fire that happened at my house. And I was actually in Vegas when this happened. Just landed for my trip, not even there 24 hours before we got a call from the neighbors saying that the house was on fire. So we're going to take you through a quick video reel that's going to talk about that. And then I'm going to walk you through step by step kind of what I was seeing when I actually came back to get an actual visual of my house. Keep in mind, we were homeless when we came back. So we had to figure out a place where we were going to go because the pets were with a pet sitter. They were able to keep the pets a little bit longer until we found housing, but it's not easy trying to find housing with your pets. And I was really afraid of losing them, but I do have them all with me here today. So we do have a lot to talk about. So keep watching. This past weekend, my daughter and I went to the house and started the cleanup work. And if you didn't know, there was a fire at my home that ruined everything that I worked hard for. We emptied the cabinets, the fridge, and we made piles of the things that we wanted to keep and things that we did not want to keep. The next round of action is to have my boys come in and throw all the items that we don't want away. The next part of this cleanup is removing wallpaper and washing down the walls. The goal is to remove all fire soot and get the home ready for the contractors and also fresh paint. We opted to do the cosmetic work with family and friends. Conquering that together cuts down on the overall cost. I will be documenting this entire journey, so if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please do so by hitting that subscribe button. Okay guys, I first want to take you through the house and what we were seeing when we got back from Vegas. Now keep in mind, this was in December, so it was freezing cold outside. But this is where the fire started, on the upper level of the house in my son's old room. And I know you guys are probably thinking, what in the heck caused this fire? So just real briefly, I won't get into too much detail, but I will tell you that my son, he was going through a little bit of an episode and the fire was accidentally started. We did alert neighbors before we left because something just seemed off about him, and they were keeping an eye out on things, and with good luck, they were able to notice the fire right away and call and get it under control and get the fire department and everybody out. But it did ruin the upper bedroom, bathroom, hallway, landing. And then when the fire department came in and they had to spray here, it did ruin the drywall on my ceiling. So it did mess up my first floor. There were some areas that wasn't touched, like my bedroom, the room across the hall that was upstairs, the back porch, living room, basement. Basement did get water, so we did have water damage there. But we were able to, get things under control pretty quickly so that I didn't lose everything, which is good. So this is a picture of my daughter and I. We went back and we just kind of sorted through the things that I wanted to keep or that I could keep and put it all in my master bedroom, since that area was not touched by the fire. That was the best way to do it. So we moved everything out, and that way the tractors would be able to get to all of the fire damaged things and be able to throw all that out. Okay, so now let's talk about us being homeless, because it was my boyfriend and I, and we had to find a place for our pets. The only place that we could go is the Motel 6 in Brooklyn Park. And let me tell you, this place was less than favorable. It wasn't good at all. I was not happy here. It was dirty, unclean, but it was the only place that was reasonably priced that would accept pets. So we had to do this for about a week until we can find something permanent. So immediately I started searching online for Airbnbs, because if this was going to be month over month, I wanted to make sure not only I was comfortable, but my pets were comfortable. So I figured a cabin rented from an Airbnb probably would be ideal. And then when the insurance company said that I had monies to pay for that, immediately that is what I started looking for. But as you can see here, I'm just kind of showing you this hotel, or motel, I should say, and how dirty it was. I don't recommend it, but I would say that I was happy that I did find a place that could house us and our pets for a reasonable price, and while I kind of figured everything else out. Now, Christmas came and went, but this was a situation of making the best of what you had to work with. So I finally found a cabin in Rice, Minnesota, which was about 15 minutes from the house. This was actually perfect. That way I could monitor the renovations while they were being done, and I was still close enough to be able to do that and still work my job and have my pets and all of that. So this was the cabin we stayed at. It was a 2-story cabin. And it was nice. Everything was kind of spread out. It wasn't meant for long-term living, but it was really nice because everything was there. Furniture, dishes, everything that we needed. And we just brought the pet kennel, and we just made the best of it. Brought our clothes and really, went shopping, grocery shopping, things like that. Really inserted ourselves into this small town and really made the best of every day, every night that we were there. It had a beautiful lake. The cabins were on a beautiful lake. And so I was able to take my dogs and walk them out there every day. The grandkids came to visit, so that was fun. And we really, I can just say I really, really enjoyed staying at this cabin, even though it was cold some days because we were there in the middle of the winter. But as things started to warm up, just going outside, walking my dogs to that lake, praying, looking up in the sky, watching the beautiful sunrise, watching the sun shine down on me, it was lovely. All right, guys, so we're leaving the cabin to go on a store run, and we're going to my favorite place out here, which is Dollar Tree. So keep watching. So the town only had like one major store, and that was Dollar Tree. There was a liquor store and a gas station in town as well. But we often went to Dollar Tree to go and just go shopping, get some of the things that we needed for the house. Not too much grocery shopping. We could do that 15 minutes away at Walmart, but it was still able to go to Dollar Tree and get snacks and just different things like that. And I truly, really liked this store. It was reasonable. It was well laid out, and all the people in the town shopped here. So I felt like I was part of the town. The only thing is you had to hurry up and get home before dark because there were absolutely no street lights. And keep in mind, we were at a cabin. So there were quite a few times that we did not make it back before it got dark. Now, the only thing that I could say about this ride is sometimes a deer would run right out in front of your car. And that was scary. There was a lot of wildlife in this area, so we had to be extremely careful. But as the season started to change, living here at this cabin got better and better. And it was actually extremely beautiful to be able to just walk out and see the sunrise. You had winter, and then now it was spring, and soon it was summer. And the sun shining was so beautiful. We spent Easter here. I loved it. We did have snow off and on. Some days would be no snow, and some days it was snowing, and then you get a light dust on the ground. But either way, it looked so beautiful, especially on that water. We really enjoyed it. I know my dogs enjoyed it. I had to walk them every morning, each of them, and they really looked forward to those walks. So it was very delightful, and it was something that I will always remember. Okay, So I want to talk about another situation that happened when my house caught fire and I was living at the cabin. I was working my job. I work in home health, and I work remotely sometimes, and then sometimes I go in and see the team and things like that. But during that period of time, I had got laid off. Now, when I tell you, when it rains, it pours. And a lot of times in life, when bad things happen, it seems like everything comes crashing down. So everything that I thought was wonderful and good, I was going to these classes to better myself, to move up in the company. So I thought. I was being told that my time is coming, your day is coming, just kind of all of those good things. None of that was true. None of it. And so I ended up getting laid off and having to look for work. And that was a bit uncomfortable because now I got this renovation and all this stuff going on with the house, worried about my son and his placement because he was homeless too. And then we were homeless and really trying to find a comfort level for us, which was very uncomfortable. It was beautiful in the cabin, but kind of uncomfortable because, I didn't have the fenced backyard for my dogs to run around in. So I had to let each of them out 3 times a day. That wasn't easy. Plus look for work, try to find a job, and try to do all of that stuff. And so that made things very difficult and really hard for, everybody that was involved trying to help, just everything. And I do want to say there was family members during this time. You can tell who is on your side and who is not, who actually called and actually cared, who actually hid out and thought that we were going to beg or ask for money and just things like that. And so people kind of kept their distance. So in times of need, you really know who your true friends and family members are and who's really in your corner or not. And so that was eye-opening to me because some people that I thought that would always be there or really was in my corner really was not. And the people that I wouldn't have never guessed came forward. And that really made a difference. And it changed me seriously from the inside out. But a long story short, the job situation, you know what? Count your losses. Sometimes God puts you in a situation and gives you a blessing in disguise. And you don't even really know that that was a blessing. You don't even know that where you are is not a good place until it's all gone. And, it's like, was that good for me? Maybe it was not, because not even a week or two later, I ended up getting the most fantastic job that I absolutely love and that I'm working to this day. And that promotion that I thought I was going to get, I got it. I got it tenfold. So talking about double the salary, double the title, all of that. And I'm actually working that job to the best of my ability. And people are really happy that I am there and I'm working with a fabulous team. So make a long story short, sometimes things happen for a reason and you just got to take it with a grain of salt and you got to thank God and you got to count your blessings each and every day because good things sometimes comes out of a bad situation. So keep watching. Hey y'all, it's me, Kika, your lifestyle blogger. So if you have been following my blogs over the years, you will see how my house has transformed. Just recently, we had a fire in December of 2025. We are now back in our home. We are gearing up because we are going back to New Orleans in exactly 10 days. So I'm so excited about that. But in the meantime, there was no casualties or anything that happened to anyone when the house did catch fire. We was actually in Vegas when that happened. We were displaced for a little while, living in a beautiful cabin on the lake. And so now we're back home. I'm gearing up to kind of fix everything and put it back together. We still have to finish the upstairs of the house, but we are getting there. And the ceiling. I haven't done that yet because that is going to take some really design detail that I want to make sure that I do right. So I went around and I've decorated kind of everything else. My living room, got a massage chair, kind of redecorated everything. We were able to keep some things we had to refurbish. And when I say refurbish, what I mean by that is we just had to kind of repaint, clean, and do all of that stuff to the stuff that we wanted to keep. But for the most part, I did throw a majority of the furniture out and we just replaced it with new items. And so we have that. I was able to refinish the floors. That was what I was worried about with that other contractor. He wanted to tear up all my floors. We were able to keep the floors. Our AI fridge, however, it is leaking a little bit at the bottom. So I'm going to have someone come and look at it. But it does get cold nicely and it does still work. We just have a few things we probably need to fix on it. So I was able to keep that. And then a few other things that I was able to add that we've never had and we really always wanted was a large TV in this living room area. I sold my movie theater room. This house is a little too small for that. So I did sell my theater chairs and all of that stuff, but I wanted to still create kind of a theater-like atmosphere. So we did that in the living room area. So I got the fireplace and I did get the 75-inch television. So we were able to do that. I did get new pots and pans and I went ahead and just repainted the place because, you know, fresh paint, new start, all of that matters. And then we did do some area rugs in the area as well. So I'm excited about that. My pets are doing well. I did something a little different with my pets. So I was able to keep my dragon. My son had him during those months that we were displaced. So my dragon is back in his terrarium, which I have to clean before we go to New Orleans. This light operates on Alexa, and he does need a basking light. So when I am in New Orleans and I need to make sure that that light works for him, all I have to say is, Alexa, turn off the dragon cage light.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on the dragon cage light.
Okay.
And so I can do that when I am in New Orleans to make sure that he has his lighting. Now, I won't technically be able to really see him because I opted not to have cameras all over my house like I used to have. I did that because my son lived with us at that time. But I do still have our Astro buddy here. So Astro is a surveillance camera. He also has a scope on top of his head where he can better look at things up close, like see if the stove's on and just different things like that. So I can drive around with Astro just to make sure everything in the house is kosher while I'm away. So I can have him look at that dragon cage just to make sure my commands are working. And if they're not, my sons will be stopping over so they can make sure everything's together. My dogs will be going to a dog sitter. My little dog goes to my granddaughters. They love keeping her. So this is an actual cabinet. And I have drawers in these cabinets. This is my dog stuff. And this is my dragon stuff. And this stuff belongs to my dogs that are on the back porch, my bigger dogs. But this is an actual dog kennel for my little dog. So she has a comfy bed in there. She has her food dishes and a place where she goes potty because she's so small. She's only 3 pounds. She's never in her life, she's 15 years old, never in her life really used the bathroom outside. So her little bitty poops are in there and I clean it up every day, which is fine. It's fine. The big dogs have this whole area. So we got them a TV back here. They do have a kennel because they can't eat together. They fight. So we do that separate. And I have their dog dishes hanging from their kennel. At night, sometimes I do have to keep them in there. But during the day, they can be in here. And they do have their dog beds. Each of them have one. So they love that. And then outside is fenced. So I can actually open the door and they can run out there and go to the bathroom and just stretch their legs and everything, which I love because when I lived in the cabin, I always had to let them out. And that just took a lot out of me. So I'm able to do that while I'm here. Quick update, you guys. I painted the back porch so it could be more cozy for the dogs. And they love it. I'll be right back. I'm just running to the store, but I'm going to close this door because I know you guys like to jump over. And we can't have that, okay? Not today. Love you. So everything is still basically a work in progress, guys. I don't have everything all together yet, but it's coming together. And I'm really excited. The last area we have to finish, of course, is the upstairs. So I'm going to take you up there just so you can see what is happening. And then we're going to roundabout finish this video in a little bit, because I do want to finish this video because we're going to New Orleans and I'm going to have lots of other things for you and to talk about. So now I'm upstairs. So we just have to finish the landing area. So when my son's finished drywalling, we did pass that last inspection, by the way. And so once my son's finished drywalling, then the electrician can come out and just finish his thing and add the lights and stuff that I have for up here. But the windows got put in, which I'm so excited. We got the windows in now. And so all we have to do is finish drywalling. I opted not, I'm going to do trim, but I'm not going to put a door on here because I want this to be more like a guest ensuite, even though I'm going to use it because we have a clawfoot tub that's going to be up here. So anyway, this is going to actually be the bedroom, and it'll have 2 beds in there. That TV and stuff that you see in there, that's actually going to come out here because this is going to actually be like the living room area. And this is going to be a nice area where I will be able to come up and actually do my office work. So I'm going to kind of have an office up here too. And do you remember that desk I had that raises up and down and has a treadmill? We'll be using that up here in this space as well, and that floor model TV. So all of this needs to be drywalled and encased and all of that. So my sons are working on that. Right now we have the clawfoot tub just sitting in here. So that is actually going to be in the bathroom, which the plumber already rewired everything. I'm going to have I'm going to paint this black as well. And I'm going to have an Alexa hanging on the wall here, or probably actually here. This is where the wiring is for it. And that's going to be the bathroom. And I have all of my stuff for the bathroom. I even have the door right here for the bathroom. And it's a really nice door. It's going to go with everything in the house. So everything actually matches, from the lights that are going to be in the space to everything. It all flows cohesively. We're using the same paint. So I have the paint all ready to go. This room is going to be fixed up so cute and nice. So a lot of the couches and stuff that's in here is going to be in there. But I have beds in here, so it's going to be fixed up really nice. And it's going to be like an ensuite, so people can sleep in here. There'll be 2 twin beds that they can put together. If it's a couple that wants to stay with us for a little bit, they can put the beds together and be in here. And then here's going to be the living room and then the bathroom. So it's going to be really nice. I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to have guests over and enjoying the space and using it myself for my office space. I was able to save the banister. So because it got charred a little bit, I just sanded it and I just went ahead and painted it black. Who cares? It was black from the charring. I did paint all of that. And then we have the lighting fixture, which is matching all of the other crystal chandeliers that's downstairs. So I'm really excited about that. I did put a carbon monoxide and a smoke detector right here on the wall because it just needs to be there. And I want to make sure everything is nice and safe. So that is the last thing that really needs to be done. Other than I got to put back together my speakeasy. It had got wet down there. It's all dry now. So I just have to put everything back together. I'm going to do that last. Today, what I'm basically going to work on is the speakeasy door. I'm changing it. It's going to look different. And then we're going to put it right back up to this space. And I opted to do more of like a barn door style, just to give it a different look, because my new door and the way it's kind of looking here, I just wanted something a little different. So I'm going to be working on this area today, finishing that. I got to repaint up here since I got the door. It's a little shorter, so I got to bring the paint on over there. And then I do need to kind of the edge. I need to paint that so I can go ahead and just hang my curtain. I'm leaving the ceiling for last because I want to just smooth everything out with the mud before I wallpaper. And the wallpaper is so beautiful. I'm so excited. So that's going to be the very last thing. And more than likely, I won't get to that until the end of May, but that's okay. When we're back from New Orleans, I'll be all freshened up and ready to dive in. I'm going to try to get as much as I can possibly get done, though, before we go on our trip. And that's kind of finishing the inside, outside. I planted my garden and just kind of all of that. Had to do that. So lots to still do, but we are so close to being done and so happy to be back home. So keep watching, more video footage coming up. Hey guys, so now what you're gonna see is a little bit of before and after, kind of how the house looked before and after what we're doing with the changes to the house and kind of sprucing things up. So keep watching. So a few other things I wanted to focus on was the front door and changing that area. So I did manage to get a new front door, and I updated this landing area. I didn't like the way it was looking, so we turned this entire landing more of a black with the tan feel. So it looks a lot better, it's a lot neater. So now what I'm working on is the speakeasy door. We had a different speakeasy door there, and I needed to really update that. So I started painting it black instead of the white color that was there before. And we're gonna add some other things to it. So this is what the outside of the house looks in the front now, in the front entrance when you enter in. Now we're gonna revert our attention to the basement speakeasy pantry door. So you've seen a little bit in the video where I started painting it. We went from having an actual white door that was outside the speakeasy, and now we're going to turn it to a black door. So this is how we're going to do it. So I first started with painting the door black, and I used the paint that I used on everything else. I got white decals that we're going to put on here that says pantry, and I'm going to reuse those curtains just because they match the ceiling, but we're going to use them at the bottom part. So I took those panels out, and we're going to add the curtains at the bottom part for the panel area. So I also got a different track. So this is going to be really interesting because this door is actually going to be on a barn door track, which is going to give it a better look. Now this is how it looks with the pantry sign there. And I think this is a lot more better because it's a less settled, less busy, but it's still giving the effect that I need, and it fits perfectly in that front door entrance area. All right, guys, remember the fire and what it did to the back of my house? Well, I hired a contracting company. They came and they washed, and what we decided to do is just kind of spruce this area up and paint it. So the windows got put in. The contractors came out, they painted the area, and they added different soffit. Now the soffit that I got couldn't be painted black, but that's okay. I do like this look. It's a reminder of what was there. Okay guys, one more thing. I changed out the front entrance light. This light actually matches the other lights that are in front of the house and in back of the house, which is actually perfect. All right guys, so we're going to end this video with showing you the actual speakeasy door and what that looks like. But for the upstairs of the house and the finishing details of that, and actually the reworking of the speakeasy and finishing details of that, I'm going to wait and put that in a different video. So if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please do so by hitting that subscribe button. That way you don't miss any notification next time I upload a new video. So keep watching. More video footage coming right up. All right, you guys remember my front door and what it looked like before, and then when I added the speakeasy door? Well, now we're changing it, and we have a new front door. I painted and reworked the entrance area to a black color, and then I also added some cushiony steps to it, and we reworked the speakeasy door. I can't wait to get it up to show you how it looks. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. See you in the next video.